Kevin, the Motown Phenom Lee. As the nickname suggests, Detroit is important to you. Tell me about growing up.
Growing up was rough there. I seen a lot of violence. I seen a lot of things that a kid of my age shouldn't have saw. And I feel like it really kind of grew me up before I was meant to almost. I've seen close friends get killed. I've seen, people get beat up for no reason at all.
What kept you from going on those other directions when you did find those friends and said they went off in other directions?
A lot of it, I do got to credit to my parents and the way they kind of always been there for me. We didn't have much growing up, but when I looked at the man next to me, I may have had a little bit more than him, and that came in the form of people that really love me.
Oh, big head kick for Kevin Lee.
He has excellent wrestling.
And down to the mat they go. Kevin Lee is landing some big shots from the top. Really making these ground strikes count. Oh, there's the tap! The Motown Phenom!
Can you picture in your head the first UFC event that you saw?
Yeah, I remember it vividly. It was Georges St-Pierre and BJ Penn. Two athletes, real smart, real calculated. Reminded me a lot of what I wanted to be.
So you watched that and then joining the wrestling team.
It gave me a sense of direction. I had school, I had these other things, but I didn't really know where I was going with that. With wrestling, it was right away. I gotta keep my weight down, and I gotta stay disciplined, and I gotta do all these things that I really hate doing, but they gave me a little bit of love and a little bit more appreciation for myself.
Big slam.
It looks like he's getting tighter.
I think he's out.
Wow. That's tight.
There's the tap. That's his move, that rear naked choke.
Then when you started training MMA, what was it like to start in that sport that ultimately got you started?
The next logical progression was to try and do jiu-jitsu. So I went to sign up for this tournament. The guy, when I showed up, he's like a 170 pounder, fell out. So I just went out for the fight. I warmed up with my dad a little bit. He said the moment that I stepped in there, he could kind of see it click in me, and it felt natural. It felt like what I was supposed to do.
Oh, Lee piecing him up. Wow, look at the strength of Kevin Lee getting this body lock. And now that choke is in, and there it is.
He's not even in his peak yet, but shows all these signs of greatness.
I really stuck around for when I met Robert Follis over at Extreme Couture. It made me feel a little bit like it's home.
Tell me about your relationship with Robert.
He's got this energy about him, and when he talks, you listen to him. And when he said something, I just believed it. So when he said this is where I need to be, I just went along with it. The relationship that you have with a coach is a real major one, I think. I had it with my first ever wrestling coach, and he was kind of like the next one that I really had it with. They always had little one-liners, like nobody likes warm coffee. They either want the coffee hot or they want it iced. Don't be warm coffee. And it kind of resonated through a lot of my life. It's like, what you gonna do? If this is what you're gonna do, then do it.
You got it! On top! On top!
How did you hear that he died?
JL called me. I didn't believe him. At first, it didn't really hit home until, I woke up the next morning and kind of saw some of the articles and saw the news and all these things, and I was like, damn. Robert was somebody that I really connected with, and I really felt like we thought the same, and it's hard for me. At the end of the day, he was such a great coach that maybe I feel that he knows he gave me what he needed to. So it's my duty to try and live up to that.
He's something special.
Dominant performance from the Motown Phenom.
It's just this really unusual ability to overwhelm people.
Absolute domination from Kevin Lee. Great ground and pound, elbows, hammer fist, punches, transitioning from mounts.
Complete one-of-a-kind athlete. Oh, and a big slam.
What are your expectations for the future?
Go. It's only a matter of time. Whatever I gotta do to get there. That's all I care about.